All right, welcome to Patriots Seahawks preview. As it is week 2 of the season, and the Seahawks are going to the Patriots. The 1-0 Seahawks are going to the 1-0 New England Patriots. Patriots homeowner, as Malcolm Butler will be pregame. It's like keeper of the bell or whatever, keeper of the light. I think the Patriots should get rid of it, but that's another day. We can look at the preview. The Seahawks and the Patriots are really, really similar teams. As Mike McDonald, first year coach, he's like 36, 37. I believe he's the youngest coach. The previous youngest coach was Gerard Mayo, and that title was only for a few weeks. They're both defensive guys, and they're both replacing legendary coaches. They both have top 10 defenses in the NFL, and their future looks bright. So, very similar teams. Now, when it comes to Seahawks receivers, they're obviously way better than the Patriots, but kind of similar teams in the coaches, the defense, the identity they're trying to bring. And it's going to be a pretty good matchup. It's going to be more defensive, don't get me wrong, but we can get into it. So, offensively for the Patriots, I do feel confident. I'm only worried about the Seahawks defensive line. I believe they have Draymond Jones. I can look at the Seahawks roster because I'm pretty scared of their how the Patriots can protect and yeah, all that. So I'll look at the Seahawks roster. It seems like Kenneth Walker won't be playing, but um so yeah, they got Leonard Williams, Jonathan Hankins, John Reed, Byron Murphy, Boye Mafe, Draymond Jones, and then they even got like Uchenna Nwosu and Jerome Baker. And Jerome Baker has some. He played with the Dolphins. He's a pretty fast linebacker, so it's going to be interesting to see how what the Seahawks do. So either the Seahawks will show six and they'll put like two in coverage or they'll blitz all six. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the Patriots can ID that and then counter that. I don't know if we're how the this is a really weird offensive game plan for the Patriots, it seems. It seems like the identity against the Bengals was run the ball, control the game, win at the line of scrimmage, create turnovers, and just dominate. I mean, I think the Patriots will throw more, or they're going to try to throw more. But looking at this line and looking at the different blitz packages the Seahawks can do, it's going to be interesting to see how the Patriots can counter that. Now, thankfully, Jacoby Brissett is experienced. He's seen all of it. Alex Van Pelt is experienced. He went against the Ravens 2 times last year. He has familiarity with that hardball defense and Mike McDonald's. I guess only he was there for Ravens for like one season, but he worked with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, so I obviously like they're not the exact same, but John and Jim might run a similar defensive scheme. So it's going to be interesting to see how much Alex Van Pelt knows and how much he can bring to the table. Now, last week, we just can't rely on Ramondre Stevenson's skill every single week. We're going to see more Antonio Gibson. We're going to see some Jermichael Hasty. At the time of this recording, I have not seen the practice squad elevations. I believe Michael Jordan is going to get elevated and he'll start. I wouldn't be surprised if we bring up that Kevin Harris, or I believe his name's Brandon Jennings or Terrell Jennings. that running back that went off. I keep forgetting his first name, but his last name is Jennings. He played awesome. And so yeah, I we should establish the run, but we shouldn't be scared to pass. And I don't think the Patriots are necessarily scared to pass, but we just haven't seen it. So let me look. Patriots depth chart doesn't seem really user friendly from the looks of it. But yeah, I'll find that right now. But Jacoby Brissett, I wouldn't be surprised if he runs for like 200 or not runs, but passes for 200 yards. I see like Demario Douglas or a KJ Osborne getting way more involved. And then Javon Baker, also Jalen Polk, I do think might not have a breakout game, but have a bigger game, might have a bigger role. So we're gonna see what they use, how they utilize the receivers. Tyquan Thornton, they might have like more stretch the field while the Mario Douglas, KJ Osborne can fill in like that slot. And then Jalen Polk, they can use as that two receiver. They can either stretch the field with him or do more short routes. Just potentially get the ball out quick. But the Seahawks are gonna just be screaming, so um yeah. I the Patriots have a real shot of proving their offense and proving their identity. Now they're going to run the ball a lot, as I mentioned. But yeah, looking more into the offense, we can go offensive line. We'll talk about the offensive line right now. Left tackle, nobody knows who that is. It from the sounds of it, Chuck Okorafor did get benched last week in the first quarter, and we cannot rely on Badarian Lowe to be the blindside blocker against a very good pass rush. Now, I don't know how they're going to manage all that, but left guard, it sounds like Michael Jordan did hold his own. They're going to elevate him. They're probably going to sign him. City So sounds like he's hurt. I don't know if they want to put him on IR or what the deal is with that. And then Cole Strange again. It's just like he's he just disappeared and nobody's talking about him. But David Andrews obviously really solid. And then Leighton Robinson, Phil Perry talked about it. He interviewed him. Le- Leighton Robinson and like even like Devon Godshaw, leader on the defense line, he was talking about Leighton Robinson. It's like we've got Leighton Robinson might be really good for us, and Mike Onwenu. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Patriots do with that left tackle spot. Caden Wallace, I don't know if he's ready. I like him as the six man, on the offensive line. Or I guess technically he was a tight end or whatever, but it's he's there to be an extra blocker. So maybe Chuck Okorafor can figure it out because something we just can't. I don't know what the plan was with left tackle, and I feel like that was a need for the Patriots, and they didn't address it. Maybe they didn't trust Jonah Williams or whoever, whatever free agent was out there. They just didn't like them, and they signed Chuck Okorafor, and he just didn't work out. Now the Patriots are screwed. So I feel like that's a pretty premium position that you have to pay premium money for, and the Patriots just can't figure that out. So other than that, Leighton Robinson, he was one of the bright spots. Hunter Henry, he didn't have a big game last week. Austin Hooper did. Austin Hooper has familiarity with Brissett and Van Pelt, so I'm not really surprised by that. I think Henry will be more of a more kind of intermediate type of guy. We'll see who the red zone guy is, but it'll yeah. I do like Henry as more of a red zone type jump ball type guy, and Hooper as kind of like a or down the field guy. It really depends what Van Pelt likes. And then Ramondre Stevenson, Gibson, I think he's gonna catch more passes, and then Hasty. So we're gonna have to see how the scheme is for the Patriots. And yeah, I mean, it was only one game, but awesome game by Van Pelt. And yeah, he just controlled the game. It seemed like I can't take anything away from John Mayo, but it's like they clearly had a plan and there's clearly something there. And they're not just throwing out random plays like last year. So it seems like they have an offense plan, and that is awesome to see. Now, defensively for us, or I guess I should go over the Seahawks DBs. Devin Witherspoon, awesome, obviously is awesome. Tariq Woolen, they got Rayshon Jenkins, Julian Love, Kobe Bryant, Kevon Wallace. They got a good secondary. I mean, Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon are crazy. So we're gonna have to see. I think the Seahawks won't play deep, so we're gonna see how the Patriots test that. But going to the Seahawks, we'll go to the Seahawks offense. Geno Smith, I my only worry with Geno Smith is I see him getting out of the pocket and just making like the luckiest plays ever. I just see like a Josh Allen type of game where he just rolls out and then he just like throws across the field and somehow completes it. It's like one of those games where it's all just luck and we just can't contain him and we just can't tackle Geno Smith. And game I that's the type of worry I see for the Patriots. Now, it might not happen. Patriots defense looked really good. I know Joe Burrow wasn't the best, but yeah, that's my only worry. But we're gonna have to see how Marcus Covington plays it. But yeah. So I think we can control Geno Smith. I don't know if he's a good passer within the pocket. We're gonna see if we can contain him and how that all will work. Now, Kenneth Walker is out, so it's gonna be more Zachary Charbonnet. I believe he was from UCLA, if I do remember. And I mean, he's obviously good. I believe he was drafted last year. So how that plays out. But going like with their offensive line, they have an awesome offensive line. Charles Cross was a first round pick a few years ago. Tomlinson, experienced guard. Connor Williams, obviously great center. Anthony Bradford, I've never heard of in my life. I will not lie. And then George Fant. Um, I believe the Seahawks had Abraham Lucas, but either he's probably on injured reserve or he just didn't make the team. But whatever it was, I thought Abraham Lucas was doing pretty good. I must have missed the news on him. But yeah, it's a really good line that the Patriots will have to go up against. And Keenan White got all the praise week one. He 2.5 sacks. He showed up as a leader. Now, he doesn't really look like 24 or 25 he is. He doesn't really look like 24 or 25. And Rob Ninkovich did mention like Patriots might want to pay him early. Now, only 2 years in might be a concern, but Keon White's gonna be seems like a really good player for the Patriots. Real disruptor. And yeah. And then Dietrich Wise, he's a veteran. I don't think he really had a standout game last week, but there's really no concern with him. Devon Godshaw, leader on defensive line. Not much to that. I mean, yeah. He seems like a leader. He's talking about his teammates, all this. He wants to win, and that's what we want. Daniel Iguale, he's been on the Patriots for a few years. So yeah. Defensive line played pretty good last week. Keon White obviously highlighting all that. So uh as long as we can get pressure inside, stop the run, and then going to the outside linebackers, people like Jelani Tavai, Anthony Jennings, Josh Uche, O'Shane Zimenez, Bentley, and Raekwon McMillan. We just gotta control Geno Smith, as mentioned. Now, I think they're gonna probably use Raekwon McMillan or O'Shane Zimenez or they're going to use Raekwon McMillan's speed to try to stop Geno Smith. Now, I could see a more Raekwon McMillan or O'Shane Ximines type of game because they seem more of like they can control the edge. Anthony Jennings is there, but I see him more as a run stopper. I see, I wouldn't be surprised if McMillan plays more snaps this week just because of his speed. Now, he did get injured. He had, I think, an ACL tear. I want to say two, but I'm not sure about the second one. He's been injured, but yeah, Bentley and Tabai, there's no, I know we can stop the run with them. That's not my worry. Now, they might try to do more outside zones, and how can we stop that? And we have Anthony Jennings for that. We got Tabai for that. And yeah, as I mentioned, Zimenez and McMillan, this could be a big game for them. Josh Uche seems like he's more of a pass rusher, and how the Patriots will, if the Patriots use him for the third downs and they bring a more heavy set on like first downs, and then Uche comes in like second or third downs. But yeah, as long as we can control Geno, I like our chances. Going to the Seahawks tight ends, Noah Fant and Pharaoh Brown. I think the Patriots should have re-signed Pharaoh Brown. He's like 6'8". Obviously, he had a crazy season last year, revived his career. I say we should have brought him back, but yeah, we'll see how Jaheim Bell plays out. And then Noah Fant, obviously pretty fast tight end, one of the faster tight ends in the league. And yeah, so that's kind of in the trenches, as I highlighted. Just in the middle, we can stop them. I'm more worried if they get outside and if Geno Smith can get outside and extend plays and all that. And then looking at our secondary, Jonathan Jones, one of the best plays, not of his, probably of his career. Alex Austin might play a little bit. Jabril Peppers had a story that I do believe went under the radar. He had a horrible hip injury where he just couldn't sleep, and they had to call the Holiday Inn like across the street and to use like their hot tub or their pool. And then Jabril Peppers did all that just so he could play. Not even like he didn't have that big of an impact, but even just the chance to play. Obviously, he was probably going to be out, but I mean, doing all that, it's pretty impressive by Jabril Peppers and truly shows he cares. He was super excited after the game. And then Rob Ninkovich told a story last year against the Commanders where he was so mad after they lost that game. So Jabril Peppers is looking for that contract. He's like, he's one of those defensive leaders we need. He's an awesome box safety. I don't know if he plays. I don't know how his hip is, but I mean, that's one of those stories that I truly do think went under the radar, but just an awesome story. And yeah, Kyle Duggar had an awesome game last week. I believe he has an ankle injury, which is not ideal, but Jalen Hawkins will play. Also, so yeah, and then Marcus Jones, I see him more covering like um. I'll get to Marcus Jones, but Christian Gonzalez, I do think will cover Marco or Christian Gonzalez will cover Metcalf, and then it's really up. Does Jonathan Jones want to go against Tyler Lockett just because veteran on veteran, or does Jonathan Jones want to go on Jackson Smith because it's veteran on rookie? But then you also have to count the speed. Marcus Jones is a little bit faster than Jonathan, I believe, but I'm not sure. But it's weird if how the Patriots will use it. Is Tyler Lockett the slot or is Jackson Smith the slot? And it's going to be interesting to see. I think the Patriots will utilize Marcus Jones in the slot and have Jonathan Jones more in an outside position, or they might have like Alex Austin in that outside position and might switch out Jonathan and Marcus Jones for that slot. So it's going to be interesting to see. I believe technically the Patriots ran 60% zone last year and 40, or not last year, last game, 60% like zone and 40% man. So we're gonna have to see how that all plays out. Um, and also I saw a stat from Alex Barth. The Patriots are the heaviest team in the league. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I do believe that's probably a good team or a good thing to have. When in the trenches, I don't think we're really that slow, but yeah. Looking at the rest, they got Laviska Chenault. I think he'll obviously just like fill in if receiver gets tired. And then looking at their special teams, Jason Myers and Michael Dixon, they're both they've been in the league. Joey Sly, it's I just as long as he's consistent, that's all I ask for. And it's gonna be hopefully he is consistent. Bryce Baringer, one of the best players in the league. There's no question about that. So yeah, my only concern is the offensive line and the running game. What's the offensive identity? Because last game it seemed like we depended on Ramondre Stevenson's skill a lot and not on the skill of any of the offensive line slash tight ends. Now, yeah, we're gonna have to see how many times does Jacoby Brissett throw the ball. But the Patriots could win this. And as long as we keep Geno Smith in the pocket, force him to throw in the pocket, there's a good chance we win. So yeah, Raekwon McMillan, O'Shane Zimenez, as I mentioned, they both bring speed. They both bring that contain Anthony Jennings, Joshua Uche. So it's gonna be a big day by the linebackers, big game by the linebackers. Because I know we can run up the middle, so or we can stop the middle. And how many times do the Seahawks throw it? Or are they going to try to control the game? Mike Macdonald's more of a defense coach. It's going to be low scoring, probably. My score prediction Patriots home opener after a pretty impressive game. The crowd better be loud. I'll go, I'll go like Patriots 21 and Seahawks 18. I think the Patriots will get that 21 and it's going to be like 21-10 and then the Seahawks get to like 21-16 and then they get the 2, but there's no time left and the Patriots just win and kneel out the ball. So, keep Geno Smith in the pocket and try to build an offensive identity and don't depend on Ramondre Stevenson. Utilize Gibson in the receiving game. Utilize the short throws. Get it out to Osborne. Get it out to Douglas. Get it out to Polk. He might have a big game. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I truly do think we can start 2-0. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, there's technically a chance we can win a lot of games. We can go on a pretty big wings. We face the Jets. That's a good team. It's at the Jets, but we're gonna have to see. Maybe Rodgers doesn't know about Marcus Covington's defense, what they like to run. Jets might scare me, but yeah. Going to the 49ers, I mean, no Christian McCaffrey probably for that game. Brandon Ayuk seems a little bit rusty. Deebo Samuel, he's not much of a route runner, so there's a chance we beat the 49ers also. That sounds crazy, but it's like if we can limit Brock Purdy, we can limit the 49ers system and there's a chance we beat the 49ers. That's pretty out of reach, but there's always a chance. Dolphins, obviously, I hope Tua makes the best decision for him. I hope at least, or I should actually, I do think make sure he's healthy, make sure he's all good and all that. And then following that, make the best decision for him. I do think he should out for a season and think about it. but Mike McDaniel, I should say, said like don't talk about retirement, but that was the question around the league. That's going to be the question around the league. I just it just seems like he's had too many head injuries and it's really not worth it. And I think he was smart enough and has the talent and all these things he's achieved where he can maybe pivot to something else just because head injuries. But relating that to the game, the Patriots, as long if Patriots could beat the Dolphins, assuming Tua isn't playing, as I previously mentioned. I wish he gets better, but Skylar Thompson, or if they sign Ryan Tannehill, if they trade for Mac Jones, whatever it may be. So yeah. Texans are the lightest team in the league, and it's at home for the Patriots. There's a chance. And the Jaguars are the first game where I'm a little bit concerned. Jaguars don't seem consistent though. That might just be a me thing, but yeah. There's a chance we can like start off like what is it? One, two, three, four, five, six. I'm not saying we can start off 6-0, but there's always a chance. And the way they played against, I guess, a rusty Bengals team, but the way they played, and I have a lot of confidence in Marcus Covington. I have a lot of confidence. I know we brought in a really good outside linebackers coach. He was on the Giants. He worked with Wink Martindale, I believe. Um, he has familiarity with that O'Shane Zimenez guy, as I mentioned earlier. But if the Patriots can win this, there's a lot of potential, and we can actually be a surprise team in both the AFC, but the AFC East. So it's a huge game, and I'm just hoping we can win it. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty defensive game, but I got Patriots 21-18. So thank you, and I'll see you later.